Okay. We live. Okay, we live. We live. What's up? What's up? Man, I don't know what it is about Mondays, but sheesh. Mondays is some Mondays are easier to get started than others. Like I feel like I'm still stuck on Sunday on the weekend. More specifically Saturday. I feel like my weekend was just like whoosh, just went right on by. But the gym helped out tremendously. I don't know what it is about going to the gym, but it's like a give me a tall glass of act right so I can get going. But I still feel like I got gum on my shoes and I'm like still stuck. But we're gonna make it work. The week's gonna pick up. So today I'm gonna be reading about society. All right. This should be interesting. We come now to the very difficult subject of American society. I certainly don't know all the answers in this area. A society is a group of people who willingly join together and abide by a set of rules decided on members of that society. Loosely speaking, the system which has been set up by commercial companies who have control of the United States is a society. It is a society which has good features and bad features as well. Common sense says that there is an advantage for any large number of people to organize themselves together and have skilled specialists provide paid services for other members of that society. For example, having a communal collection to enable roads, water supplies, sewage, and the like certainly makes sense. A national health service also looks like a good idea and does having social welfare benefits for those who are unfortunate to become ill or who are unable to find work. However, such things have been subverted by those in charge and maneuvered into a state where these things serve their ends rather than the needs of the general population. Boy, don't we know about that? While a country wide medical service sounds like a good idea or a good thing, it has been reported that the price of some of the medicines supplied to the National Health Services now costs literally 10 times what they did 2 years ago. Yo, I don't know about y'all, but when it comes to like buying cough medicine and just medicine in general, like it's like, yo, you spending like meal money. Like it's like, do I want to have a meal tonight or do I want to have this cough medicine? It's crazy. But anyway, let me keep reading because I'm going a little off tangent. This looked very much as if the people in control of that service are using it to make a massive profit on pharmaceuticals and probably many other services such as parking fees where millions per year are made from people who have no option but to park in the hospital grounds. So what looks like a sensible arrangement appears to have been converted to something different. Perhaps this is an unduly cynical view, but it is certainly in line with many other scams which are being run. I didn't know you had to pay for parking. You don't know how to pay for parking in a at a medical facility, do you? I don't know. I haven't been to the hospital in a minute. That's interesting. I know we got to pay for it downtown, though. Boy, income tax was introduced as a temporary measure in connection with a war. And who organized this war? It has never been removed, and yet the country did not seem to have any major problems when there was no income tax. The employees of the commercial company which runs the country, those people who take the title of members of Congress or similar meaningless title, spend a lot of time thinking up new legislation, which, if it can be produced or introduced without too many people noticing, it will become a statute. I suggest that the main intention of all legislation is to provide a smokescreen to hide additional charges which members of the public are required to pay. An argument can be that you elected those politicians, so you must abide by whatever they dictate. This carefully avoids mentioning the fact that those politicians have nothing to do with the public, other than giving the appearance that the public has some say in what happens, while the reality is that everything that happens is dictated by non elected owners of the companies in charge. The payment of benefits to those in need looks like a very good and necessary thing, but the people in charge see it as an admission that the adult is not capable of taking care of himself, and so they literally think of these ordinary people as cattle. Their word, not mine. What they ignore is the fact that there are many direct and indirect taxes and charges, along with the low level of pay, which they reckon that people can be made to work for, are the things which have many ordinary, hardworking people in the very poor financial positions which they despise. They are willing to cheat, steal, and lie while the ordinary person is not comfortable doing those things. So, what should we have? So, what should be a good and helpful system has been changed into an oppressive thing which is used to force people into dependency. While a certain level of public contribution for what are the thoughts of as being essential services is understandable and a desirable thing, that the system has been twisted into a mechanism to enslave and defraud ordinary people. It has long since reached a ridiculous level, with the average person being expected to pay income tax, council tax, inheritance tax, national insurance, capital gains tax, sales tax on house purchases, value added tax, parking charges, airport charges, fuel tax, road tax, import duty, tax on alcohol, tax on tobacco, payments for driving license, passport. The list goes on, and on with additional items added all the time. Yo, that is a lot. I never thought about all those taxes we pay on. Like that was like 10 different taxes, man. 10 taxes. People who have been caught for many years in this system will have already paid in so much that they would not want to leave the system and lose the benefits for which they have been paying so long. Others may well consider starting to refuse to pay some of the things demanded of the straw man. This is a personal choice and one which should be thought about carefully before any actions is taken. Please note that this document does not provide you with legal advice, but instead presents facts for information purposes only. If you want legal advice, then consult a lawyer. All right, that was enough for that section. But man, so one way to like circumvent some of these things that are happening as far as like paying these taxes is having a trust, which is what I found out. I created mine. Well, I had mine created earlier part of this year. And boy, you'd be surprised on what the things that you can do with having a trust and some of the benefits that the trusts have in general, as far as like not having to pay taxes. It's one of those things where you control everything but own nothing, right? Because the trust is its own entity and you're just responsible for it, like a caretaker. So yeah, think on that. Think on that. That's all I got. I hope y'all enjoy y'all day. All right, peace.